Thanks to you, I survived what started out to be a really bad day. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Yep, I survived, and I'm back with that awesome tutorial that I wanted to share with you yesterday, but better late than never. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by, and welcome to all of my new friends and to all of my new subscribers. Welcome back to all of my longtime friends and longtime subscribers. Thank you all so much for the wonderful ways in which you support me and my channel. There was no greater support shown than what you guys did for me yesterday. When I let you know that I was having a bad day and I wouldn't be able to publish a tutorial, y'all really came through for me. So many of you watched the playlist that I attached, and so many of you binge watched my channel that my performance yesterday on YouTube was better than it probably would have been if I had posted a tutorial. So I want to thank each and every one of you for what you did for me yesterday. It means more than you'll ever know, but I'm going to give you a quick idea of what it really meant. On YouTube, we get graded. Our performance is only as good as our most recent posting. We get graded. Whether our channel is recommended, whether we grow, how our income is affected, depends on the performance of our videos. And I knew that yesterday would be a very low performing day for me, which means that if you guys had not come through for me yesterday, my channel would have shown poor performance yesterday in the eyes of YouTube, and therefore my channel would not be recommended, my videos would not be seen, my growth would stagnate, and my income would practically be non-existent for that day. So I wanted you to understand how what you did for me helped me to have a successful day with YouTube. A day that, if we're using a grading system, I probably would have had an F. But because of what you guys did for me, I had a strong B+, possibly A- day on YouTube, and that is phenomenal. So thank you all so much for showing your commitment to the channel and your commitment to my success by what you did yesterday. I really appreciate it. We are going to take these beautiful papers and we're going to make something that we ordinarily used to go to the store to purchase. Y'all, we don't do that anymore because we now have the skills and the talent to be able to make those things that we needed to rush out to the store and buy. I'm going to flip to my overhead camera so that I can give you a closer look at what I'm talking about. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here's a closer look at what I'm talking about. This was the one that I made off camera. This was the one that I made in the video that I accidentally totally deleted. And what it is, we have a 6 by 4.5 by 3-inch box, and it contains our note cards. Remember when we used to go to the store to buy greeting cards and note cards? I know y'all aren't doing that anymore. We're making them. You have everything you need to make your own greeting and note cards. I'm going to open this box so that you can see what we have in here. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can, but there is an acetate window here, so you're able to look inside of the box when it's filled or when it's emptied. So what I made, I just made some blank note cards because, y'all, I like to keep my note cards blank. And then when I need one, I like to let the occasion or the situation determine the sentiment that I'll go back and put on the outside. And I'll show you a really fun way of making this and not adding the sentiment, but having it available to your project. Here is one of the envelopes that we're going to make. We're going to make 2 of the cards. We're going to make the box, and I'll show you how to insert this acetate window, and then we're just going to make a small box top to fit on top. But I think that this is just such a delightful project. It is wonderful to gift it, to keep it, or to sell it. So you have so many options when you're making projects like this. But you can walk into any store today and they're selling boxed note cards or boxed greeting cards. We don't need to buy them. Let's make them. So here is what we're going to need to make ours. So I have my beautiful papers that I printed, and for those of you who watched my previous video where I used some printed papers, my 12 by 12 printer is not printing borderless. So I do have a slight white border around the edges. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I actually left it on this project, and you can see that it doesn't interfere with the look of the project at all. So what I have here and the amount that you will need, everything is going to be determined by the number of cards and envelopes that you want to put in your box. So to make the box, I am going to need a piece of 12 by 12 and then a piece for the lid that measures 5 1/8 by 8 1/8. Then depending on the number of envelopes that I want to put in, I will have a piece that is cut at 7 3/4 by 11. But I'm starting out with an 8 1/2 by 11 inch sheet, and I'll cut it down. But if you want 6 envelopes, you will need 6 sheets of 8 1/2 by 11 or 7 3/4 by 11 if yours is already pre-cut. Then to make my cards, I'm using that same beautiful floral pattern, but it is not double-sided. So if you want to make 6 of these, you'll need 3 pieces of 12 by 12 or 3 pieces of 8 1/2 by 11 so that you can cut them down into your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 size cards. One thing that I forgot to show you is the box is a double-sided sheet. So for those of you who are interested, I'm going to have 5 of these kits available on my website. They will contain everything that you need to make 6 cards and 6 envelopes and the box, as well as a 4 by 6 piece of acetate. So making everything is going to be very easy. We are going to make our cards first. Now I am going to just trim off the edges for the cards because I'm going to trim this down to 8 1/2 by 11. So I can just trim away this. And now I'm going to trim this down to 8 1/2 by 11. And you can definitely save this piece and use it. So now that we have our 8 1/2 by 11 inch piece, we're going to turn it to the 11 inch side, and we are going to cut 2 pieces at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. These are our 2 cards. So then I'm going to bring in my stylus, and on the 8 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score at 4 1/4 on both of these. And then we're just going to fold and burnish. So there's card number 1. We do the same thing to get card number 2. So I am just going to fold and burnish. So now I have 2 cards that are blank right now, but of course we can add sentiments to these as needed. So I'm going to take these and just set them to the side, and we are going to make an envelope, a double-sided envelope. So my envelope size needs to be 7 3/4 by 11, and on the 11 inch side, I know that my card is 4 1/4 this way when folded, so I'm going to make my first score at 4 1/4. Then I need to move over an additional 4 1/4 so that I can fold over. So that would take me to 8 1/2, but I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch so that we have just a little bit of room. Then I'm going to turn it to the 7 3/4 inch side, and we're going to score at 1. And then we rotate it to the opposite side, and we score at 1 again. Then I am going to fold and burnish all of my scores. And isn't this a beautiful envelope? It's one of the reasons why I didn't mind making this project over, is because I love working with beautiful paper, and paper does make me happy. So I'm in my happy space right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this fold mark here and this fold mark here, and we're simply going to angle in because we want to free our center tab. So see how that center tab is now free? I can fold it under. We'll do the same thing over here. Find my score, and then find my score right here, and I can fold both of these under. Now at the top and the bottom, I'm just going to cut in at an angle to remove my corner pieces. Now I'll do the same thing here and here. So now we have that common envelope shape. I am going to round the ends of my envelope. You can do this with a corner rounder if you have one. If you don't, you see how easy it is for us just to round those ends. So now we're going to take these two pieces and we're going to fold them in. The whitest part is the part that we fold up and glue. So I am just going to take a little bit of glue right there and a little bit right there. And then we add some on the ends here. Now, if you want to use tape, you can. I just find that it's quicker for me to glue my envelopes. And so now I should be able to take my card and put my card in the envelope like that. And like I said earlier, I will have 5 of these paper packs available on my website. So now we are going to make our box, and y'all are going to see just how easy it is. All right, so we're going to take our 12 by 12 inch piece, and I'm not going to cut off my white borders. I'm going to leave them, and we are going to score at 3. Then we rotate it to the opposite side of this 3-inch score. So we'll turn it once and turn it twice. And we score at 3 again. Then we'll turn it once. And we're going to score at 4.5. Here's that 4.5 inch score. We now want this score on the opposite side of our board. No matter how your board scores, you just want that 4.5 score to be on the opposite side. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it once and twice. And then we'll score again at 4.5. Those are our scores. We're going to fold and burnish all of these scores, and there are only 4 of them. And I am using heavyweight paper here. Very, very sturdy paper. So now all I'm going to do is where I have these tabs right here, we need to free them. So I'll just go up to the score mark, cut down through the middle of that score mark, and free my tab. Like that. And let's do the same thing over here. We're just going to free that tab. And if you don't feel comfortable in cutting straight like this, go ahead and place it back in your trimmer and just use that as your guide. So now that we have these 2 pieces freed, I am going to reduce them on both sides. So now your piece is going to look like this. I am just going to flip it over so I'll be able to show you what I'm about to do. We're going to take this piece. I have a template here that is 2 by 3, and I'm just going to place it down. I have some tape on the back, and it's a chipboard template. Those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that this is the way that I like to cut in my acetate openings without using a die cutter. So if you want to get an acetate window, you can just use a template such as this. I have it stuck with tape, and all I'm going to do is take my finger blade and I am going to trim. Let's see if this is ready to come out. And there is my window opening. You can make that opening as big or as little as you like. But then you're going to need some acetate to put on the inside here. So I am going to cut a piece of acetate at 5 by 4. we're going to take that acetate and we're going to put it in just like that. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm not going to put the glue on the acetate itself. I'm just going to put the glue right here, and then I'll just put a couple of beads there, one right there, and one right there. So now I can take my acetate piece and place it down like this. Then I'll take my big old spatula and I'm going to press the glue away from the opening of the window. That way, I don't have to worry about getting glue on that opening, and now I have this beautiful acetate window. So now what we're going to do, y'all, we're almost done, is we're going to take our glue, place glue on this piece, and join it to the back piece. Go in with my bone folder and get this stuck. Same thing on this side. We're going to place our glue on this piece. Take the back piece and fold it over. Go in with that bone folder and get it stuck. So now we'll take this piece and we just join it with glue on both sides. So I am just going to take my glue add my glue to both sides. Go ahead and fold up, fold over, and I'm going to make sure that my tops are matching. So let's make sure that top is matching. Now I can go on the inside and get everything nice and stuck. And y'all, there is our beautiful box. We can take our cards and our envelopes, put them in the box, and they fit. Now we need to make our lid. So for the lid, we are using a piece that measures 5 1/8 by 8 1/8. Very easy. We score at 1/2 inch and at 1 on all 4 sides. 1/2 inch and 1. Half an inch and 1. And then we are going to fold and burnish all of our scores. All right, so now that we have all of our scores folded and burnished, we are going to remove the 3 corner pieces from all 4 sides of this top. So we go up to that second score mark. We're going to drag straight down like this. Then we can angle, go to the second score mark and angle in here. Angle to remove these 2 pieces and reduce. And we'll repeat this process on all 4 sides. So going up to that second score mark, we drag straight down to free this part. Then we angle in here on this tab. We angle again. And then again we angle. And then we reduce. So now that we have our piece like this, we're simply going to take our glue, place our glue on these little tabs, and we join them. And you want to make sure that your corners are nice, tight, and crisp. And I'll go in with my big old spatula, bone folder, whatever you're using, and we want to get that stuck. And I'll do the same thing right here. Go in, get it stuck. Then let's fold these outer flaps backwards. And we're going to place our glue. And then we fold over. And we go in and get this stuck. And what I've found with this thicker paper is you really have to work that stick in. It sticks beautifully once it's stuck, but you have to go in and work it. So we're going to do the same thing here. Let's get that nice and stuck. Then I'll go around to make sure that all of my foldovers are stuck. Now I can bring in my box, put that lid on, and you can see that we have a terrific fit on this. So now that we have our beautiful box, you can decorate this however you want, or you can leave it blank. But the way that I like to do my cards is when I'm ready to use one, depending on the occasion, I'll pull some type of a sentiment, and then I can place it on the top, and I can place a word sticker right here. So there are so many different ways that you can decorate your blank note cards, but that's just one of the ways that I do it. I wait until I need the card, and then I decide what it is I want to put on it. And this part here is really optional, but if you were selling or gifting these, you can include just a little pack of pieces of ephemera so that the person getting this, they might decide they want to use some of that on the front of the card. Totally up to you. That's an optional thing that you might want to consider doing if you're going to be selling a set like this at a craft fair or something. So y'all, I'm going to bring the 3 back in because now I have 3. And I am just going to take these and I am going to just give you a very quick look at some of the things that we can do with our own papers. We can make our own cards, we can make our own note cards, make our own boxes. The days of having to run to the store at the last minute, that's behind us. Just walk over to your crafty space and whip up a card or a box set in no time. So I hope that you have enjoyed this super awesome way that we can make our own set of blank note cards. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.